Welcome to today's live stream. I hope you are feeling well.
Da, 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 da. Here we are again. We are back, everyone. Hello there. It's very nice to see you once more. We are all together again, as live can be, right here across planet Earth on YouTube. I hope you are having a good day today. Here we are then. I suppose I should say hi, everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope you are feeling happy today. Do you have a smile on your face? I hope there is a smile right now on your face because we're back together again. It's amazing, everyone. I love technology. If it wasn't for technology, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you live from England, which is where I am at the moment. So my name is Duncan. I like English. You might say I'm one of those up there. I am an English addict. I am addicted to English all my life. From before I could walk, I was trying my best to learn English. I was. So that's the introduction out of the way. That's all we needed to do as far as that is concerned. And thank you for joining me today. It's lovely to see you. We have made it all the way to the end of another weekend. We are also approaching the end of April. It has been a very strange month. I don't think I will ever forget this month, ever in my life, for various reasons. Coming up today, we have lots of things to talk about, many things. We also have something historic happening today at 3 o'clock, something that's never happened before, and we are all going to share it together right here. Yes, it's Sunday! Rooty tooty toot, rooty toot, tooty tooty toot, rooty tooty toot. It is Sunday and I hope you are having a good day. It's not too bad, I suppose. It's okay for those who enjoy the weekend. Some people, unfortunately, have to work during the weekend. What about you? Do you have to work on Saturday and Sunday? I remember years ago in one of my former jobs that I did when I was just a young person. Everyone has to do jobs. They have to get involved in a career that maybe they did not intend to get into. But I used to work in it at the weekend. I hated it. Can I just say? I hated working at the weekend. I really did. And that's probably the reason why I stopped working in that particular profession, if you get what I mean. I think so. We are back together and it is lovely outside. I have to say the weather is rather, well, I suppose I want to say that it's sunny, but it isn't. But it is rather nice outside. It's very, I think the word I'm looking for is atmospheric. It is atmospheric outside at the moment. A little misty. We had some rain earlier. And I suppose it is worthwhile mentioning the environment today because I suppose a lot of people are talking about the environment this weekend. Yesterday was Earth Day. Did you know that? Apparently yesterday we were all celebrating the Earth. because it's pretty good, really. When you think about the billions of years it took to make this, it's incredible, really. So I think, really, every day should be Earth Day. Every day we should be thinking about that. And a lot of people this week have been protesting, protecting the environment. There are many people who feel strongly about the environment. There are many people protesting. I suppose these activists have one particular fear, and that is the fact that we only have one planet. I think that's what they say, isn't it? They normally say, Mr. Duncan, we only have one planet. There is no spare planet. We're not quite ready to go to Mars just yet. So there is no planet B. We don't have another planet. So if we do destroy the Earth, I suppose what they are saying is we don't have an alternative. There is no planet B. We only have this. So there are people who are worried, concerned about what is happening in the world as far as the environment is concerned. Of course, this is an argument that has been going on for many, many years. If I said to you, way back in the 1960s, people were worried about the environment and the way mankind was moving and the direction we were all going in, then I suppose it's been around for at least 60 years. So you might say that 50, 60 years ago, people were concerned about exactly the same things. The environment, war, famine, poverty. So all of those things were issues way back in the past, and they are still issues now. I suppose in a way, it is good that we do have some people around who want to keep reminding us about these things. However, it is a very difficult conversation to have with anyone when we talk about the environment. You want to protect the environment, but also you want to keep moving forward. You want to keep progressing. That is the whole point of existence. Animals in the wild, every day they try to survive another day, and that's what we're doing. So you might say that many of the technological advances that have happened over the past 150 years have helped us all in many, many ways. However, there are those who think we should start to pull back on all of that development, or at least make changes that can move us forward in a positive way. But it is a big subject, and not one that I have any solutions for today. So if you are expecting me to come up with any answers to this question, I don't know. I really don't know. And I suppose one of the big problems is there are still many countries around the world waiting to develop or to become more developed. So as that happens, of course, there will be a demand for energy, electricity, gas. So those things are not going to go away overnight. And I think a lot of people still want to keep their old fossil fuel powered cars as well. We might talk about that later on, by the way, with Mr. Steve. Yes, Steve will be with us a little bit later on, and I think that we might be talking about that later on with Mr. Steve. Hello to the live chat. Nice to see so many people here. Oh, hello Vitas. Nice to see you here, Vitas. Welcome. You are back at the top. You are the champion of the live chat. Congratulations. I had a lovely shave this morning. Sometimes I don't have a good shave, but this morning my face My face feels so smooth after having a shave. It's like a baby's bottom, to be honest. Hello, Beatrice. Beatrice is here as well. We are looking forward to seeing you in June. Would you like the news? Now, there is some news concerning the English rendezvous in Paris at the beginning of June. We have booked the hotel and the flights. So it's on. It's happening. We are going. We will be there. And for those who have got in touch, I will be emailing you over the next couple of days to let you know what is happening and to give you more information. And if you want some information, if you are interested in meeting up, I will need you to get in touch with me. I will also need some sort of communication, maybe WhatsApp, because I will be creating a WhatsApp group for those who are coming to Paris at the start of June. So the big news at the moment is we have done it. We've booked the room. We've got a hotel to stay in, so we don't have to sleep on the streets, although that might be fun. You never know who you might meet on the streets at night in Paris. I'm not sure if I want to do that, to be honest. I'm not that brave, and I definitely know Mr. Steve isn't. But we have the hotel, we have the flights, we are flying, and that is it so far. We have 1 or 2 people who are definitely coming. We have some who are not sure. So if you are interested in joining us in Paris, the full details will be sent to you, and all you have to do is get in touch with me. I will put my email address on the screen right now. There it is. So if you want to meet up in Paris at the start of June, I will give you the exact dates when you get in touch. And I will need also contact details with WhatsApp as well. I will be creating a group on WhatsApp for those who are attending the rendezvous in Paris, the English rendezvous, which is now definitely going ahead. It is definitely happening. Vitas is at the top once more on the live chat. Can I say hello also to Sebastian watching in Mexico? A big hello to you. Thank you for joining me today. Christina. Hello, Christina. Half of the workers work on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe doctors, shops, police and firefighters. Well, I suppose if you are involved in the emergency service, then you will have to work, or maybe you will be expected to work at some very strange hours because you have to be always on standby. You have to be ready to jump into action. Hello also to who else is here today? Hello, Ella, watching in Ukraine. Hello to Ukraine. Nice to see you here as well. Thank you very much for joining me. Claudia. Hello to Claudia. Claudia, it's nice to see you here today. What's cooking, Claudia? What have you got in your pot today? We also have Lilia, otherwise known as Intelligent. I wonder if we could find a win-win situation. I read about ancient sources of energy that generated electricity, literally out of thin air. There are those who are at the moment investigating, doing research into all of that stuff. There was something the other day that I read, a very interesting article. I don't know how real or how true it is, but apparently they are working on a way of transmitting electricity without wires. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Mr. Duncan, that doesn't sound real. So there are many ways, many things that people want to do as far as developing energy, new forms of energy, new ways of generating energy. Maybe the source where the energy actually comes from. So these days we still rely heavily on gas and oil, so all of that comes from beneath the ground. Coal is another one. We still have lots and lots of coal. We have hundreds of thousands of tons, if not more, of coal under the ground still here in the UK. And most of the coal mines have actually closed down over the years. But there is a big push at the moment because of all of the problems with oil and the energy crisis and all of the wars occurring around the world. A lot of people are worried about where the energy is going to come from in the future. So we still have a lot of coal underground here in the UK. And there are many people who would like to see the coal mines reopen. So that is one of the hot topics that is being discussed at the moment as we have the Earth Weekend. A lot of people thinking about the environment at the moment. Claudia has rice in the pot. Well, guess what? We had rice last night. Mr. Steve made one of his famous lentil dal curries, and it was absolutely gorgeous. It was very nice. Christina, I have not received an email from you. I have sent emails to everyone so far who has actually got in touch. So if you haven't heard from me, please write to the email address that I just showed you, and I will sort that out. But we do have quite a few people now interested in joining us. We are definitely going. We are there at the start of June. We will be in Paris. Maybe we will see you there. Very interesting. Who else is here today? Rangshav. Hello, Ranghav. Ranghav Sukla or Shukla. Hello to you. Nice to see you here today. What time is it in India? Oh, I see. Yes, it's much later. I think it's evening now in India. So today we are talking about lots of things. We are talking about affection, being affectionate, showing affection. That is one of today's subjects. We are also taking a look at, well, today, of course, is a special day. You may have noticed on the thumbnail for this live stream, today is St. George's Day here in England. The patron saint of England is St. George. So all across England today, many people will be flying the English flag. So in that particular case, it has nothing to do with football, because normally people will be waving their England flags when there is a football match taking place, maybe a big football match. But today it is St. George's Day. St. George is the patron saint of England. And apparently he's also the patron saint of many other countries as well. I think he was Turkish. Is that true? Was he Turkish? I'm sure St. George was Turkish. I'm sure if you know that, if you know the answer, if you think I'm wrong, please let me know. But I'm sure he was actually Turkish. Sebastian. Hello, Sebastian. Mr. Duncan, does the noun earthquake mean in English a big tremor, or just a soft one? Or do you have another word for the soft one? Earthquake is when the earth moves, maybe parts of the earth collide, or maybe pressure is suddenly released, and it normally causes a lot of disruption, damage and loss of life, as we saw a couple of months ago. And yes, but here, I will be honest with you, here we don't have earthquakes. So I don't think we've ever had an earthquake. However, we do sometimes have tremors. So we often describe the movement of the earth in this country as tremor. So it means that the earth is moving, but not very much, just a little bit from side to side. Although sometimes you can feel it, but normally it doesn't cause any damage. So that's the word we use. We say tremor, tremor. It is when the earth moves slightly, nothing too serious. But we do have them here from time to time. I remember one morning, a long time ago, way back in the 1980s, we actually had a very strong earth tremor, and I was still living at home with my mum. And I woke up in bed, and my bedroom was moving from side to side. It was going like that, and my bed was moving, and I was very aware that the bed was going from side to side. It woke me up, and I was a little bit afraid, to be honest. So that was quite a long time ago. But since then, we haven't had many earth tremors. So if you have a tremor, it means you have movement, but nothing too serious. So normally it is not as serious as an earthquake, which is good, I suppose. Francesco, St. George attacked the dragon and cut off its head. You are right. Yes, that is the famous myth, the famous story, or maybe the famous legend, because, of course, I don't want to break the news to you now, so please don't be too upset, but dragons are not real. They are mythical creatures. Mr. Duncan, how could you do that? There are people on the planet who believe in Father Christmas. They believe that the earth is flat. They believe in dragons. So I do have to be careful. I don't want to ruin anyone's illusion of the world around them, honestly. Saturino, are we sure that the energy transition is good for the earth? How much energy is needed to get the transition, and that energy comes from fossils? And how many people will pay for it by losing their jobs? Well, any change, anything that changes on a large scale, normally has an effect. It's really hard to avoid that. So I remember in the 1980s when computers and machinery was becoming more, well, I want to say clever, but it was becoming more automated. So robots in the 1980s started building cars, and it still happens to this very day. So a lot of car assembly is actually done by machines, not by people. So I suppose every time we make a leap forward, every time we advance, quite often there is some sort of negative effect that occurs as well. I think it is unavoidable. It is unavoidable in any situation when you start to make changes or when you make advances in certain things, you move forward. I think it's always difficult to stop or to prevent some sort of negative side effect from occurring. I think so. Yes, apparently there was intelligent. One day there was an earth tremor in Kiev way back in the 1970s. It was quite an event for my parents. Well, we have them quite often here. We have earth tremors, but we've never had earthquakes. We've never had anything that's caused large amounts of damage. Mr. Steve will be here soon. Oh, another thing we're looking at today. We are going to look at this thing that I have in my hand. I won't show it to you just yet, but this is something we are also going to talk about today. Can you see it? Can't quite see it, but I will show it to you later on, and we will be talking about that as well when Mr. Steve joins us, which will be happening in a few moments from now. So Steve will be here. We are also playing fill in the blanks as well. So lots of things to look forward to. Don't go away. Stay here. There is still lots to come. English Addict is with you live. I enjoyed that very much. I'm getting excited because we are going to have a holiday in June. We are going away. I don't think we are going to the beach, though, unfortunately, but we will be going away somewhere very special indeed. Here we go. There you are. Hello there. Look who's with me. Look who's decided to join me. Isn't it amazing? Yes, he's back, everyone. Mr. Steve is with us once again, and I know a lot of people will be excited to see you here, Steve. Because
Why?
Because people get very excited when you're here.
I don't quite understand that, but never mind. I won't doubt it, and I won't criticise it, because if you get excited to see me, then I'm pleased.
I say I'm pleased as well. I'm pleased that you're excited to see me. I'm also pleased that you are excited to see Mr. Steve. Maybe you will be seeing us in real life. Can you imagine that? Walking up to us in the street and saying, "You're Mr. Duncan. Can I touch you?
Well, I should be excited to be walking up to the people that we know and saying hello, because we don't know what they look like. And it's going to be very interesting. I should be honoured to meet whoever comes to Gay Paris.
Yes. So just in case you don't know what we're talking about, we are actually having an English rendezvous at the beginning of June. We have people on the list already. There will be a WhatsApp group for those attending, and I will give you the dates and all of the information. All you have to do is send me an email and give me some information about yourself, of course, and I will also need your WhatsApp number as well. And I'm going to create a group. I will be in the group. I've been asked already, Mr. Duncan, will you be in the group? Yes, of course I will. I will be in the group. We will share the information with you in the group. And then as we get closer and closer to the day when we meet up, which of course will be about 5 weeks from now. 5 weeks.
Where are we going to meet anyway? Top of the Eiffel Tower. I think that'll be a good place to meet.
Well, that will be one of the things we will be discussing away from here. So I believe Luis, can I just say Luis Mendez is here today.
I haven't said hello to everybody yet. Allow me to say hello and welcome to all our lovely viewers from across the globe. And it's lovely to be here.
It is very nice to be here. Luis Mendez has asked where we are staying. Which hotel? Well, it is in Paris. It has a bed. It has a toilet. And that's really it.
If you go onto booking.com and sort the hotels in order of the most expensive one, and then whatever comes at the top, that's where we're staying.
That's it. It's basically,
I'm joking.
It's basically the back of the train station. There are a couple of mattresses on the floor.
Mr. Duncan, I've had a very stressful evening last night and this morning.
Can I just say, poor Steve. Steve and technology.
Well, it's not the technology. I hate booking things online.
Kind of is the technology, though.
It's not really, because I get on with it. As any of you, I expect a lot of you have booked holidays online through places like Expedia or Booking.com. I mean, in the old days, back in the day,
traditionally,
you just went to the not estate agent, you went to the travel agent.
You could go to the estate,
Thomas Cook,
estate agents,
and you'd just say, right, I want to go here on these dates, and they'd come up with a load of suggestions, and they'd do it all for you. Not these days. You have to, all the different permutations and the.
Yes.
And do you want a room with breakfast? Do you want... there's so many different... it just drives me nuts.
Anyway,
nuts, Mr.
Steve,
Duncan.
Let's not relive that.
I hated every minute of it. It took me probably 12 hours to sort it all out.
I did say I would offer to help, but you wanted to take over, as you always do.
Well,
Mr.
it's not that.
He wants to
wouldn't have got done otherwise.
That doesn't make any sense, actually. Okay, Steve, you really want to start peeling that onion? Okay.
So, by the way, Pedro, I could join your WhatsApp group now that I'm not working. Send me a reminder about that.
Well, we won't be joining any other WhatsApp groups.
I might, because Pedro's asked me before, you see, to join his WhatsApp group.
You know what a WhatsApp group is, don't you?
Yes.
Okay, then.
It's a private group where people can secretly send messages to each other.
Anyway, we're missing the point today.
What's that?
The important thing. Can I just
teaching English? Is that the
Steve?
Yeah.
Okay, Steve. Just we've got to get this across, you see, or else I'm going to get lots and lots of emails about this. Paris is happening. It's official. We've booked. We have a hotel. We have flights. We're going there. We will be there at the start of June. I will create a WhatsApp group for those going to the meetup. So that's why I don't want to get any confusion. So that this is not for teaching English. This is for the meetup in Paris. We have to be clear of that, because I will get lots of emails today from people that say, "Can I join your English group?" Well, it isn't an English group. It's
No free English lessons while we're in
because
Paris.
What I'm saying is my email box will just get confusing. I won't know who's coming to the meetup and who just wants to learn English. So, you see what I mean, Steve?
No.
You
No
don't?
idea.
You don't?
Well, we know
Anyway.
who's coming to the group.
Yes.
Because people are emailing you. That's it. To the right.
What? Did you just hear what I said? Okay, probably not.
See, Inaki understands perfectly what I mean about having to book things online.
Yes.
It's so stressful, and then you get sort of halfway through, and then something goes wrong with the computer, or you go back to look at something else, and then it gets rid of all your searches. You have to start all over again. I just hate it.
I'm sure no
It's
one
so
wants
confusing.
no one wants to hear you moaning about not being able to use a computer. I'm sure of it. So this weekend we had the London Marathon today. I'm going to take a guess. I don't know who won, but I'm going to guess it was someone from Ethiopia. I'm pretty sure of it because it always is. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to put a good bet on that. I wish you could take bets and put bets on which nationality will win the London Marathon. So it took place today. I don't know if it was successful because lots of rioters and protesters are around at the moment trying to disrupt everything in London because they are worried about this thing up here. You see, they're worried about that. Just above Mr. Steve's head. The Earth. Yes, it's in trouble, apparently. The Earth is in trouble. It's having a lot of problems at the moment.
The Earth is fine.
And we are the cause of it.
I've got to fetch something, Mr. Duncan. Can you hold the fort for 2 minutes?
You've got to fetch something?
Yes,
Okay.
because of what's going to happen at a certain time.
Oh, yes. Oh, I knew you'd forget.
Well, I've been busy booking flights and
Anyway,
things.
yes,
I'll be back in
we know
30
that.
seconds.
Okay. I did say to Steve, I said, please bring your mobile phone downstairs with you. And he hasn't. I bet he's not even charged it. I bet it's not even charged up. The reason why I am so excited today about Mr. Steve's mobile phone is because something today is happening that's quite spectacular. Something that's never happened before, and it involves our mobile phones. Apparently at 3 o'clock today, we are all going to receive a warning message from the government. So to everyone's cell phones in this country, that we are all going to receive a message. So we're going to wait at 3 o'clock. Steve has his phone. Have you turned the sound up and everything?
I will do.
Because it will make a noise, you see. It's going to make a little noise when it comes
I've
through.
only got 17% battery life left.
Of course, that's what I said. Was I right? You see, I said that. I said, I bet he hasn't charged his phone up.
Mr. Duncan, I've been stressing
Anyway.
over this
Yes.
trip to Paris.
Although, to be honest with you, everything in Mr. Steve's life involves a certain amount of stress, to be honest.
Pedro's doing his chores.
So it's okay, Steve. So at 3 o'clock, the thing I was going to say, we have this emergency message coming through from the government. It's just a test. So it's not something that's really happening. It's not a bad thing that's really occurring,
Yes.
but it's a test. And it might actually be something like this. I'm not sure what it will be like, but it might be something like this. Huh? Mr. Steve, look, there's a warning. Warning, warning, warning. Don't panic, that sort of thing. So I think that might be what happens
Could be.
at 3 o'clock.
We've no idea.
So it's just a test. So every person in the UK will receive this message on our phones, everyone, including us. So all of our phones, all of the equipment here in the studio will suddenly light up with the emergency message. But it is just a test. So that is happening in just under 14 minutes from now. So stay with us.
Stay with us for a bit of excitement,
Yes.
courtesy of the UK government. It
Yeah.
sounds odd, doesn't it? I've never ever heard of this, ever. The government trying to message us all at once to test some kind of... It sounds a bit ominous to me. Ominous, there's a good word.
Well, it's just a new piece of technology. So in the 1950s, in the United States, they were so afraid of communism that there was a lot of paranoia around. Some of it was real, and some of it was made up. But a lot of people were very afraid that maybe something bad was going to happen. So quite often in the United States, they would have these tests and practices. Children in school would have to hide under their desks, things like that. And so there were lots of what we call air raids, where you have to hide yourself away just in case something bad happens. So
So
that's what we're having today. Sorry, you were mentioning Pedro.
Pedro's gone, I think, now. Pedro, as Pedro does, he comes in for a few minutes, says hello, and then goes, which is fine. Christina sent you an email?
Yes, I've already mentioned that.
Oh, right, okay. Right, okay.
This is one of the reasons why watching the live stream is a good idea.
I'm just this is there.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. It's going to be very exciting. Tomek's sleeping rough, so we'll expect to see him in a tent.
Okay.
We'll bring you some food. We'll bring you some scraps.
To be honest with you, you will fit in quite well because there are lots of people sleeping on the streets now in tents.
Perhaps you can sleep by the banks of the Seine.
Yes.
Maybe we'll see you begging for money.
Yes, and that's it.
And
where else? Maybe around the back of the Trocadero.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What goes on there?
Yes. I don't know.
What's the Trocadero?
I'm just mentioning another place.
Right.
You've mentioned the Eiffel Tower and the River Seine, you see. These are pretty rudimentary sort of places, aren't they, when you think about
Don't
Paris?
forget to bring your name badges.
Yes.
So that we know who you are.
Yeah. Well, that's all being arranged, you see. We might even have lanyards.
Good grief.
So we've got to do that, you see. So that this is what the WhatsApp group is for. The WhatsApp group is there so we can arrange everything with all those attending. I need names, and then I can just do all that, you see.
Inaki, sleeping rough means that you're basically sleeping on the street.
Yes.
Because you haven't got a hotel room for whatever reason. If you sleep rough, if you go around to somebody's house and you just sleep on the settee, you could say that you're sleeping rough.
Yeah.
But usually sleeping rough means outside, maybe on a park bench, maybe in a tent on the street, something like that. You don't have a roof over your head.
Yeah. You're homeless.
You're homeless.
Yes, to
sleeping
be homeless.
rough, like a tramp.
I don't know why we sound so jolly about it, but it's an awful thing. Where's the worst place you've ever slept?
Probably. Where's the worst place I've ever slept?
Yeah, that's the question.
It wasn't when we were younger. Well, I'm just trying to think. My parents took us on a trip to Spain, and we drove. We went across the channel in a ferry, and Dad drove, and we drove halfway through France. But we couldn't get there in the time Dad had allocated. So we had to stay overnight at a hotel, but we didn't because they couldn't afford a hotel. So we slept in the car
Oh, God.
on the edge of some sort of construction site. And then we woke up the next morning to all these trucks all trundling around us.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know. My sister always remembers that story.
That's a horrific story, by the way.
We slept overnight in the car, yes.
And it was supposed to be this lovely holiday, this lovely vacation.
It was.
And it turned into a nightmare.
Well, of course, when you're a kid, it didn't really bother me too much because you're young, aren't you? You don't think about those things. But I imagine for Mum, it was pretty horrific.
Doesn't sound like much fun.
Having to sleep in the back of the car.
The worst place I've ever slept, well, I slept in some very strange places in China when I was there. But I think that the worst place I've ever slept is actually a railway station in the middle of winter. And I'd missed the train and I had to wait for the next train to come, and it wasn't coming until the next morning, so I had to sleep. I had to stay. I think it was Coventry railway station, and I won't tell you why I was left there, but that's all I'm saying.
Now, I can tell you where we've slept together, the worst place ever. We missed the train back from London back to Wolverhampton. And we were at Euston Station. We'd missed the last train. Guess whose fault it was for not packing? And we had to find a hotel, and there was one around the corner of the hotel, which was the diviest, most horrible hotel I've ever stopped in.
Even the fleas had fleas.
The room that they gave us, they hadn't even changed. The sheets hadn't even been changed.
Yes.
It was disgusting.
It's basically it's something that used to be known years ago as a bunkhouse.
A flea pit.
Bunkhouse. It's just basically a bed that you can sleep in.
It was just a mattress on the floor, wasn't it?
Yes, that's what I'm explaining. It's a bunkhouse. I don't think we have them anymore. And I remember the name of the place, Steve.
What was it called?
Ken's Guest House.
Oh, God.
It is just around the corner from Euston Station. I don't think it's there anymore. I would imagine that Ken's Guest House doesn't exist anymore, but it's famous. Apparently a lot of people have stayed there when they've missed their trains. So I think it was just a couple of pounds to stay there overnight, but everything was disgusting. And that's what we did because we missed our train. Ken's Guest House. Don't think it's there anymore.
I shouldn't think so, no. Christina, Duncan will write to you. I'm sure he has done.
Yes.
But, yeah.
I have replied to everyone. I've had a lot of this recently where everyone's saying I haven't replied, but I'm pretty sure I have replied to everyone. Send me an email, but I have replied. Christina, I have replied to you. I know I have. I know I've replied to you. I can't stress that
Send
enough.
another one just to remind Mr. Duncan. Just resend it, and then he'll see it.
Yes.
And that will, we can check what's happened there.
That's it. Anyway, there's plenty of time. Don't panic. There's plenty of time. But send me another email.
RD Howe asked when you do live streams. Well, this is it.
This is it.
And I think you probably knew, so welcome, RD Howe, if you are new to this channel. I was going to make a comment that Intelligent has bought some raisins and spices and has been inspired to make a hot cross bun loaf.
Lilia.
So good luck with that. I'm sure it will be delicious. And I'm not going to bring one to Paris because I don't think you can bring food, can you? When you go on a flight, I don't think you're allowed to bring. Oh, you might be. Oh no, I think you can. I think it's seeds, isn't it, and plants you can't bring.
And animals. You can't bring animals. If you have a couple of rats in your pocket and you get on the plane, they might not like that. You see, they might complain. To be honest with you, 5 minutes to go, Steve. 5 minutes.
Before we all get warned.
So bring your phone over here.
It's not going to work, is it?
Yes, it is. What do you mean it's not going to work? I don't understand what that means. Oh, okay. So there's Mr. Steve's phone, and there will be a message coming through from the government. Everyone's phone is going to be alerted with a test message. And the reason why they're doing that is because in the future, in case there is some emergency that may affect all of us. I'm not saying what it is, but let's just say if you don't like mushrooms, you're not going to like it. So 4 minutes now, 4 minutes to go before the emergency message comes through. Are you excited, Steve?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll only be excited when an actual real one comes through. Which probably will be fear and excitement. I mean, they're basically telling us if there's a nuclear attack.
Okay.
I mean, that's the end. Why would they have to message it? They're basically telling us if we get attacked, then we'll send you all a message. Because you wouldn't. What other reason would you contact everybody unless it was a dire emergency?
Maybe they were coming around for a cup of tea.
No, but they're just trying to get us frightened. This is what governments like to do. They like to keep us all in a state of fear. And this is what they're doing because they're obviously, nobody is going to attack us unless they know something we don't.
Okay. I wasn't going to go down that road, but there you go. So 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes, then there will be a message coming through. But it's nothing to panic about. It is no need for alarm or worry. or distress, nothing like that. So don't worry about that. But we are hanging on now for 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. It's going to come through. Oh, I'm excited, actually.
How are they going to respond on the London Marathon? So is that they must be running at the moment?
Well, it's happened.
Oh, it's finished, has it?
Yes, it's finished. Apparently, Mo Farah won.
Really?
Mo Farah.
If that is his real name.
It is. Well, that's his last ever marathon.
Right,
Apparently, it's the last one. He's retired, you see.
Did they let him win?
I don't know, but they're saying that he's won. They're saying that he's won.
It's a text alert, says Santorino.
Yes. 2 minutes.
Right. Well, this is just too exciting for words, really.
It is
You've been
exciting.
talking about energy as well, I noticed. People talking about energy transition.
Yeah.
Do you mean from fossil fuels to
So anything.
renewables?
Yes.
They've been talking a lot about nuclear power in this country as well, about wanting to fund nuclear power. Personally, I think it's far too expensive. It takes 10 years to build one, and then you've always got that risk that it could blow up, or somebody could, or it could melt down. It's too high a risk to take, I think.
It's a very, very suitable thing to be talking about.
Exactly.
At this moment.
Just as we're coming up to the 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, no, I used to be in favour of nuclear, but I just think it's too dangerous. Because if something goes wrong, which it does, look what happened in Japan.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Calm down, Mr. Duncan. It probably won't be on time anyway.
It will be. It's electronic. It'll be exactly on time. Here we go. So we've got 1 minute. There will be an emergency message coming through to tell us all to get under our tables, take some food.
Good grief. Is that it?
Your phone.
My phone stopped working. It's come through on yours,
It's come through on my phone. And
but I haven't had one.
You are so useless.
Obviously, the danger doesn't apply to me, does it?
So my phone had it. Did you hear that? That was really alarming, by the way. I think I may have pooed myself a little bit.
Maybe they're sending them out in, not all at once. Maybe they're sending them out in...
it's all at the same time.
But it's not 3 o'clock yet.
It is. It's
Only
it's
just
fine.
crossed over.
Okay.
What does it say, Mr. Duncan?
This is a test of emergency alerts, a new UK government service that will warn you if there's a life... Oh. Now, Steve.
Mine's going off now. Good grief. Quick, hide, duck under the table, Mr. Duncan.
Don't panic. Isn't that awful?
That's awful.
That is just... I've pooed myself a little bit.
It says this is a test. You do not need to take any action. How can they override that? My phone's on silent. How can they override that? That it just shows you that they can tap into anyone's phone whenever they like.
Well, of course they can. We know that already.
Yeah.
This is not new information. If they want to find out about what you're doing, they can. So there it was. There it was the first time in history that anyone has ever done that. Isn't that amazing?
All I can say is it's slightly disconcerting. There's a good word for you. Disconcerting.
Okay.
Frightening, unsettling, because it's
something that's unnerving. It makes you feel nervous. It's disconcerting.
Does this mean that they're expecting to have to use it in the future?
That's a horrible sound. So
no one wants to hear that.
I think my sound is better. I think that one.
I can't hear your sound.
Yes, well, I can. just imagine that I can hear it, which I can. So that's my sound.
Olga says this is the usual thing that they hear in Ukraine.
Oh.
Well, that's interesting. So does your government, Olga, and Intelligent as well, I think it's in Ukraine, do they warn you of air raids and things like that, missiles coming in? Do they send you a text message on your phone, or is it sort of, an alarm in the where you live, like a siren or something?
Yes. Well, maybe it's both. Maybe it's just everything. But I have to say, if I was asleep at night and that suddenly started, I think I would wee the bed, I would poop the bed, and maybe everything else in the bed, because that really did scare me. That actually did give me quite a turn.
This is what they want.
I wasn't expecting it to be so loud.
Palmyra says that they get it when there's a storm on the way.
Oh.
So that's interesting. Tomek's not the slightest interested at all. All he's interested in is Alessandra. So if that alert went off, then just shows you what Tomek's priorities are.
There might be another alert taking place.
Yes, maybe Alessandra wants that alert on her phone if Tomek comes within half a mile.
All I can say is make sure you've got some mace. Just don't forget to bring some mace with you.
Exactly. Yes.
I'll be carrying mine. Oh dear, what are we doing today?
We'll be prepared because we've never met any of you. You could all be lunatics.
Yeah, you could all be. Although, to be honest with you, if you were lunatics, you would be in very good company with us.
That's true. So when we meet, don't be surprised if we haven't got sort of armoury on, or as you say, we've got mace at the ready.
Okay. Not mace as in the giant ball and chain. That's a different type of mace. This is the pepper spray that you spray in someone's face.
Pepper spray. We'll have it all ready. Yes.
Today is a special day for many reasons. Well, first of all, it's Earth Weekend. Everyone's thinking about planet Earth.
I'm not.
And it's also St. George's Day today.
What does that mean, Mr. Duncan?
That is the patron saint of England. And did you know that he's actually the patron saint of many other countries as well? I might have it here written down. Let's just have a look. Maybe my emergency message has been obliterating my phone. I did have something saved on here, but now it's not working.
Oh, well, while you're doing, intelligence says yes, they do get these alerts on their phone. And Tomek says we get the same in the Netherlands if there's a fire, for example. Oh, right, okay. So that's interesting. So it's not something unique to the UK. So it sounds like we're, a bit slow on the uptake in the UK in having these. So maybe they could use it just in your locality. It doesn't have to be a national emergency. Maybe, say, Shropshire, there's a chemical spill or something.
Okay.
Then maybe they will just send it out to people in Shropshire. I don't know. Whose phone is registered in Shropshire.
I think it's actually something quite larger than that. But anyway, St. George's Day today, and it is the feast day, which is normally something that's celebrated. Quite often it's a religious festival, notably celebrating England's patron saint, who is St. George. But it is also celebrated by Christian churches and also many countries and regions where he is also the patron saint. A lot of people don't realise this. They think he's just the patron saint of England, but there is a huge list of countries. And
who was he?
For example, he was Turkish. So I was right. So I wasn't sure if I was right there, but the one thing I remember from when I was at school is that St. George was Turkish. Albania, Bulgaria, Greece, Georgia, Lebanon, also Serbia, Catalonia, Rio de Janeiro also observe, they have their patron saint, which is St. George.
I wonder how seriously they take it.
Well, I suppose it depends how religious you are, because it is quite often seen as a religious festival as well. So that's the reason why lots of people today are flying their English flags around the country, because it is St. George's Day, the famous myth, the legend of St. George and the dragon. He slayed the dragon with his sword, and that has become legend.
And the black and the white flag with the red cross on it, of course, is the St. George's flag, isn't it?
It is.
You're
right.
Yeah, and people who are quite sort of patriotic or patriotic will often fly a St. George's flag in their gardens. But in this country, it's seen that you are slightly extreme if you were to fly one of these flags in your garden, a St George's Cross. You're seen as being somebody who's, what's the phrase, if you are very supportive of the country that you live in. I can't remember the phrase they use now.
Patriotic?
Yeah, no, there's another.
I know.
Phrase.
Is it jingoistic?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, a jingoistic person is a person who rattles their sword and they get very excited.
Because it's seen these days as being, it's got connotations to sort of authoritarian regimes and things like that from the past. If you become nationalistic is the phrase I was looking for.
Oh, okay then.
If you put a St George's flag in your garden, you're seen as being quite nationalistic,
Yes.
which these days that isn't seen as a positive trait.
Yeah.
It's seen as a negative trait, which we're not going to debate whether that's,
So what about when England are playing football? There are England flags flying from houses all over the country.
Exactly, they do. So, but, it's... People are often seen as nationalistic when they do. But of course, it's an England flag. It's not a Scottish flag or a Welsh flag. So it can be seen as a bit confrontational as well.
Well, the Welsh have their own patron saint, don't they? St David.
That's right, exactly.
St David. And Scotland. I don't know who's Scotland's. I can't remember.
The haggis, probably.
What?
They probably have a flag with a haggis on it.
Okay. I wasn't on about flags. I said who was the patron saint of Scotland?
It's not Robbie Burns, is it?
It's not Robert. Robbie Burns.
Robert Burns.
Oh, Steve. Stop talking.
Well,
It's
I don't
Robbie
know.
Burns. He was a poet.
Well, he might be the patron saint of Scotland. Anyone can be a saint, can't they? If they're said to be so.
I know who isn't a saint.
You?
And that's all I'm saying. No, I'm not saying me. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying
Right, so that's it. So athlete's foot you've got down here, Mr. Duncan.
athlete's foot. Yes, okay. That's just for me. That's not for you. Okay, what am I doing? Why do you come on and just try to...
We are playing the sentence game. No, it's not the
we're not playing the sentence game.
We're playing the, what's it called?
Fill in the blank.
game. We're playing that later.
Oh, okay, Steve. Steve, just take a step down. This is why people don't watch us, by the way.
They are watching us.
Yeah, well, they're not, actually.
Anyway.
Across my whole YouTube channel last night, 54 people watched. 54.
Well, yeah, okay.
My whole channel. So, yeah, that's the reason. St Andrew. Oh, okay. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Patron saint of Scotland.
Of course it is, yeah. And there's a golf course named after him.
That's it. Is that the one owned by Donald Trump?
Probably. Although that's St Andrews. But it must be related to that.
Well, that's just referring to the possessive, isn't it?
Exactly. Well, so I said that so that you could point that out.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So today we are looking at words and phrases connected to affection. Not infection. That's a different word altogether. We might be talking about that, though. You
mean after the trip to Paris?
Sorry?
We might be getting some infections.
What do you mean?
It's a joke.
How? How is that a joke? I don't understand.
Well, because, the joke is the inference is that you'll be getting up to things in Paris which you shouldn't be, and you may contract an infection with somebody that you may have a relationship with, for those few days away, which can happen on these types of trips.
What? So you're saying? Let me just get this straight.
It's a joke. It's a joke. You don't have to analyse it, Mr. Duncan. It's just a joke.
Right. Okay, it's very funny. Affection.
Take some penicillin with you. That's all I can say.
Okay. Affection. Words and phrases. So ways of expressing affection. We often think of affection as being an outward show or an outward expression of love and care. So maybe people who are in love, maybe family members, all sorts of things, those general things like that, you see? They are classed as affection. A person might show affection. It is an outward expression of love and care. To be affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose. What?
Go on.
I suppose with a family member, you might be affectionate. I have no idea what's going on here. Affectionate, to show affection to someone. You are showing affection to them.
Mm-hmm. And how do you do that?
What?
Oh, yeah, well, you're getting onto that now. Good, yes, lovely. Carry on, Mr. Duncan.
So I have absolutely no idea. Has that alarm done something to your brain?
ID Hay, by the way, is watching from Myanmar, who asked earlier about when did we do the live streams. 2 o'clock UK time every Sunday.
Yes, sorry about that. Myanmar. I don't think anyone calls it Myanmar, but there you go. To be affectionate. Are you an affectionate person?
You won't be getting much of that off me after today's live stream. What did you see what I did there, Mr. Duncan?
I did. So nothing new then? Nothing new. Just business as usual. To be affectionate towards someone, to show love, you might embrace, you might hold someone, you might hug someone. Hug. I think that's an interesting word. When you think of bears in the wild, not the sort of bears that you might be thinking of, but bears in the wild, in the woods, we often talk about hugs coming from bears, because if they attack you, if a bear attacks you, they will actually hug you, they will grab you, and then they squeeze you, they crush you to death.
Well, it's strange that you should mention that, because there was a comment on the live stream only just a few minutes ago about a poor child that's been killed by a bear in Italy.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't see that.
I know. So it's very interesting that you mentioned that. In Trentino in Italy, a boy was eaten by a bear.
Yeah. Did you hear the other story? Apparently in a restaurant in Spain, someone was flambeing a meal. So they put something on, maybe alcohol, and they set it alight. And it got carried away, and it set fire to the whole restaurant, and it's actually killed some people and injured lots of people.
Oh, awful.
And I always feel a bit nervous when that happens. Whenever you go to a restaurant, one of these very posh restaurants, quite often they will set fire to the food. And I always think maybe that is not a safe thing to do. And apparently it's been proven to be so in Spain. I think it was in Madrid. A restaurant, an Italian restaurant, was flambeing, lighting some food. It was burning with flames, and the whole restaurant caught fire. Not very good. Another phrase, a loving gesture is affection. Something you do to show. Can you think of something? A loving gesture?
You buy your partner some flowers or a box of chocolates, or you surprise them with a holiday.
Ooh.
Or something like that, or you just come up to them and give them a kiss.
Good.
A loving gesture. You say something nice. A gesture can be literal, or it can be figurative. So it could be like a box of chocolates or some flowers. You're at work, you come home and you say, "Hello, dear, I've brought you some flowers."
Oh.
And that's a loving gesture.
Yeah.
Of course, you could be trying to get round them. But for the purposes of this lesson, we'll say it was a genuine loving gesture.
Yes. So something you give, maybe a card on someone's birthday, or maybe at a special occasion. Maybe you give someone a gift, or maybe a card to show that you care. Certainly in relationships, you often find that there will be tokens of love given, maybe at Christmas time or on a birthday, or maybe on that couple or that couple's anniversary as well. To make a fuss of someone with a caring gesture can be described as affection. I think that's true, yes. To show warmth towards someone, maybe a warm embrace or a tender moment.
A tender moment. When you're whispering sweet nothings into your loved one's ear.
Yes.
Sweet nothings. I think it just means you're just saying soppy things into the ears of your loved one.
For example, maybe you go, I need a poo.
Lovely. That's not particularly a sweet nothing. It's a sweet. It's a not particularly tasty either. But anyway, I won't tell you what Mr. Duncan just said.
What?
A bear in Italy and then an Italian restaurant. Coincidence? I don't think so.
I know it could be connected somehow. But anyway, tragic events. But I always feel a little worried when things are on fire in a restaurant, when they're setting fire to the food. I think Japanese restaurants do it as well, some of them, don't they? They set fire to the food and it all goes up in flames.
What's a gesture?
Gesture.
Says Ardy High.
Gesture.
A gesture.
It's something you do physically, normally, towards another person. Maybe you are showing an emotion, or maybe you are showing direction.
Yes.
You are making a gesture.
Please sit down in these comfortable seats. Is a gesture. But also a gesture could be you give somebody some flowers. So it doesn't have to be a literal gesture. It can be, a gesture can be, how would you explain that? So it can be physical, or it can be a gift.
Yes. So something you are doing, maybe in the direction of another person, something you are expressing physically in the form of body movement is gesture. Maybe this could be described as a gesture. You are waving, you are doing something, you are connecting with another person, you are giving something to them. It is a gesture. It is something you are doing to show or to convey something.
If you had fallen out with somebody, in other words, you no longer talk to them, you had an argument and you fell out with them, you might send them a gesture of goodwill. So a gift, or an email, or a letter.
I would say,
gesture of goodwill.
Yes, maybe you want to reconcile.
Reconcile, get back together, a gesture of goodwill. It just means something that might make them think, maybe they weren't so bad after all. Maybe I should reconsider. And, they're trying to build bridges and make friends again. So, you can use that word in a number of ways. So thanks for that question.
Yes. So even a small thing that you do for another person might be a small gesture, but it might mean the whole world.
Alessandra says they use in Italy lots of hand gestures when talking. Yes, when I went on a company trip, I made friends with a lovely Italian lady. It's fascinating the way, French people do as well, but particularly Italian people make lots of gestures with their hands and their faces, and it helps you to understand what they're saying. That's fine.
You show affection. It could be described as outwardly expressing love. You are showing it. So it's not something hidden away. If you show affection, or you have an affectionate feeling towards someone, you normally want to show it in some way. A fond expression, or you express fondness. So you might say something. You might actually use words towards someone to show affection. You might say, "Oh, I love you. Oh, you're my honey bun. You're my love. You're the one true love of my life," are things you might say to someone somewhere.
What is a stick in the mud? Asks Lewis.
A person who does not want to get involved with something, or maybe a person who is dull and boring, and maybe they don't like to have fun, or maybe they don't want to do things that are fun and exciting. So maybe everyone else wants to have a party, but that one person does not. You might describe them as a stick in the mud.
Or they're at a party and they don't want to get up and dance, they don't want to drink anything, which is fine if they don't want to do that, but they might look miserable as well. Yeah. They're not going to be happy.
No.
You're going to come up and dance. No, I don't want to dance. Or no, I don't want to have a drink. And then you would call them a stick in the mud. I mean, it's an insult to call somebody that, really. It's not, you wouldn't like to be described as that. It just means somebody that doesn't like to have fun, that is very conventional and always does things the same way. And,
yes. Like Steve. Steve might be described.
I'm a bit of a stick in the mud.
Steve is a bit of a stick in the mud.
I think it means, the expression means that you don't tend to shift or change your position in life very much. Because if you're stuck in mud, then it means you're fairly fixed in your opinions, in the way you view life, and you don't like to do anything new.
Yes. So the stick refers to a piece of tree that's been pushed into the mud, and it stays there. It doesn't move. So someone who is dull and unimaginative.
Well, they don't like to change.
Yes. Well, that's it. Yes. I was going to say something then. Okay, it's gone. Here we go. Express love towards family, friends, or even a pet. You might be affectionate towards your dog. You might give your dog a little stroke or a pat on the head, or maybe you might give it a little bone. When was the last time you gave your dog a bone?
I haven't got a dog. Dogs, I like dogs, but I like dogs who are owned by other people, and you can just pet them for 5 minutes and then say
I don't even like dogs that are owned by other people, because normally they're annoying. They bark and they leave their poop everywhere.
We saw somebody yesterday. Have you shown the video?
I haven't showed it because I didn't put it in the computer.
Fine. We saw people.
I forgot.
We saw somebody yesterday walking their dogs, plural, because they must have had 6 dogs.
6 or 7 dogs.
6 or 7 dogs, all on leads, and they were all the same breed. They were little, smallish dogs.
Little Shih Tzus.
Pardon? And they were all, they were getting in people's way on the pavement. Just so annoying, just attention-seeking, wanting everybody to stop and ask, oh, look at your lovely dog. Anyway, that sounds a bit mean.
Yes, it does. You were quite bitter yesterday.
I was very bitter. I was bitter yesterday.
I admired someone's Range Rover, because it was quite an amazing looking car, and Steve got really angry and bitter about it. I don't know why. Anyway, back to our subject, affection. Steve, you express love towards a family, a friend, or maybe a pet. So even a pet can be shown some affection, and of course animals are often quite affectionate in return. Physical contact. Physical contact between lovers. Maybe there will be some physical contact taking place in Paris. We will see. An affectionate couple. Maybe they're sitting on the park bench. Although I don't know why people normally get angry or upset when they see people sharing their affection in public. I don't know why that is. If you see a couple kissing in the park, you normally want to tell them to stop, because, well, first of all, they're having more fun than you are.
They're showing off, aren't they?
They're not showing off. They're just expressing their love. Do you just assume everyone is showing off?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So maybe someone who does not hold back their feelings. They want to show their affection to their partner, their lover, or maybe a family member, of course. So a sign of love or an expression of care. An affectionate action. A hug, a kiss, maybe you hold hands as a way of expressing your affection towards each other, or maybe you just embrace as well. Maybe if you are meeting a friend you haven't seen for a long time, you might want to hold them close and
give them a hug,
embrace them.
And of course, if you're in France, you might kiss a stranger on the cheek.
Yes, although I'm not sure if I can bend down that far.
I see.
Which cheeks are you on about?
These, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, I see. Not
those.
Not the ones on your bum.
Well, no, that would be very strange.
Although that does sound more exciting and interesting.
Strange custom, maybe somewhere in the world that's what they do, but I very much doubt it. But yes, so that's the point. When we all meet up in France, we're going to have to kiss each other.
No.
And show great affection.
Can we just have some ground rules? we need some rules in place. There will be no hugging. I don't want hugs. I don't do hugs. So we need to just make sure of that. No hugs, because I will run away and you'll never see me again. So please don't hug me, because I'm scared. I might be a little afraid, you see. So that is it. Some words connected to affection. Maybe you are in a relationship. Maybe you have an animal, a little pet, and maybe it likes to come up to you and lick your face. Or maybe you have a partner who does the same thing. That's good. Tomek says, no kissing, please. Well, don't worry, there is no chance of that happening. You will be pleased to hear. No chance of that happening at all. Here is something I want to mention, Steve. Now, as you know, my mother passed away last month, the end of last month, and we had a funeral about 2 weeks ago, coming up to 2 weeks ago. And there are some things that were left behind by my mother that I have decided to keep. Would you like to see one of the things? Now, this is something that is quite spectacular. Wait till you see this. Look at that. Whoa. So this belonged to my mother. It used to sit in her front room. So all of the days and all of the hours that my mum sat watching television, this clock was ticking away.
Was it there when you were young?
Well, I'm going to tell you now. I bought this for my mum many, many years ago. In the late 1980s, I bought this for my mum as a birthday present. So I actually gave it to my mother for her birthday. But I took it to a shop to be valued for insurance, of course.
Because, yes.
Because you have to make sure, you see.
Because you spent an awful lot of money on that clock for your mother.
Okay, Steve, I've got a punchline coming up, which is kind of... so, the valuation of this clock, because it's beautiful, isn't it? Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. It's got the sunray dial. It's got the beautiful Roman numerals. That does look rather nice, isn't it? Doesn't that look amazing? So I took it to the shop and I had it valued, and the man gave it a value of £2, because it's made of plastic, you see. It looks real. It looks amazing, doesn't it, though? But unfortunately, it's made of plastic.
And it's covered in dust, I can see.
And it uses batteries. So it's made of plastic, but I bought this for my mother.
Which shows what a cheapskate you are.
No, not at the time. Because I was
cheapskate.
It wasn't, because I was young. I couldn't afford to buy an actual gold clock because I was just a poor young man.
It is. It's not keeping very good time, I must admit.
Well, there's no battery in it.
Oh, right, okay.
I just showed you the place where the battery goes, but there is no battery. So that is it. That's my mum's clock that I've kept in my studio, and it will stay here forever and ever and ever. So there is a little memento. But also there is a word that we often use to describe that type of thing. Maybe you have something as well, Steve. Very similar.
Many things.
So here is the word, if I can find it. The word is heirloom. Isn't that strange? What a strange word. So you might describe this clock as a family heirloom, even though it isn't worth very much. So quite often something that is valuable, or maybe something that is treasured. So I will always keep this clock nearby because I think of all of the hours that this clock was ticking away whilst my mother was sitting nearby. All of the days that we never spent together, and all of the nights it was just ticking.
Yes, a family heirloom, something that's normally valuable, that's passed down from one generation to the next. It could be a painting that somebody bought that's worth a lot of money. It could be a piece of furniture or a piece of jewellery, and it's usually passed down from one generation to the next. But you can jokingly say about something that's cheap, that's passed down, you can also describe that as a family heirloom.
Yes.
Is it heirloom or heirloom?
Heir.
Heir. You don't pronounce the H.
Well, the heir is the successor of the family.
Ah.
So normally it was passed on to the male. But of course, nowadays, because we have equality, everyone's equal. Some people are more equal than others. Don't forget that. Your family heirloom is the thing that is maybe valuable, but also maybe something that isn't loved or beloved. Maybe a child's toy that has been passed down over the generations. So maybe the toy is not worth much, but it's treasured as a thing that is special to that particular family. So I will always treasure my mother's clock. It will always stay nearby.
Although there's no generation for you to pass it down to.
Okay.
Because it stops with you, Mr. Duncan.
Thanks.
Because you don't have a family. Maybe you can pass it on to one of your sister's children or something like that. Or a nephew or somebody who's related to you but isn't a direct sort of descendant, so to speak.
Anyway, I'm not planning on going anywhere just yet, so don't worry. I won't have to worry about that for quite a while. So I thought it was quite an interesting word, heirloom. Something old, something that is treasured or valuable, that's passed down, maybe a piece of jewellery, as Steve said. So I quite like that word. It's a lovely word. And
a painting.
Something that I've been thinking about for quite a while.
Piece of furniture.
Yes, some furniture, or in your case, most of the contents of your mother's house.
Well, I haven't had anything passed down to me. I've just sort of acquired it.
Yes, well, that also can be an heirloom, you see. It doesn't have to be passed down in a will. It can just be something that was there and then it's handed over. So it doesn't have to be official. So it can be anything, maybe some curtains or a tablecloth. It can also be an heirloom, something that is just passed on in the generations. So, Steve, you've bought some stuff back from your mother.
Lots of things.
Because of course Steve's mother passed away last year, 6 months before mine did. So it's been a weird roller coaster ride. So I think it's nice though to have something nearby that reminds you of that person. So every time you see it, you think of them. I think that's lovely. We are going to play Fill in the Blanks in a few moments. Are you excited?
Yes, and I'm sure a lot of people are excited watching us today because it's a very popular game that we play. Fill in the Blanks. So if you don't know what Fill in the Blanks is, stay on because it's quite exciting, really. And there are prizes.
Pretty good. Fill in the blanks coming in a few moments. So the London Marathon took place today. I was going to show you some video here. So here are some people who are running the marathon. They are actually having a jog. I'm not sure if it's the London Marathon. I'm not actually sure.
Well, if it's not, what's the point of showing it?
Well, there it is, where you get the idea. You get the idea. It is a marathon taking place. And it's something that I wanted to mention because you always think that being an athlete is good for you. You always think that maybe running and taking care of yourself is a good thing. But what if I told you that sometimes it isn't a good thing? You can get little problems, maybe illnesses, diseases, or fungal infections. Of course, I am talking about a very common thing that occurs in people who go running, and they call it athlete's foot. There it is.
How did we get from family heirlooms to athlete's foot, Mr. Duncan?
Well, we went via the London Marathon. The London Marathon was the segue into athlete's foot. So it's quite interesting how many people get athlete's foot. And I think even if you go walking a lot, I think you can also get athlete's foot. So it's just when the moisture builds up between your toes or underneath your toes, and then you get little infections, don't you?
Well, yeah, it's a specific fungal infection, so you have to have contracted the fungus onto your foot in the first place. You can't just, if you get a sore from walking, that's not athlete's foot. You have to have picked it up from a changing room floor.
Oh.
I used to go, the number of times I've caught athlete's foot from going to the swimming baths, and children get it a lot because it's transmitted by you can't see them, the tiny little spores or fractions of the fungus, and then you walk along and you pick it up, and then if you get sweaty feet or a little break in the skin, this fungus will grow and it will cause painful cracks that weep. And it's very easy to get rid of, but it's annoying.
Yes.
Usually between your little toe and the next toe to it.
So that's quite a good example there of athlete's foot.
That's a good example. If you get little cracks, painful cracks in your feet that don't heal up, then you've probably got athlete's foot, and you need to apply some cream which you can buy from the chemist.
Yes. There's another thing that a lot of people get, especially men, if they run. They get jogger's knob. Have you heard of it?
I've heard of crotch itch.
Crotch itch, but jogger's knob apparently
I've
as
heard
well.
of that one. You're making that up, aren't you?
No, it isn't. It's true, because when you're running, everything goes up and down, and it can cause a little bit of sort of a
break. You can get nipples. Women can get painful nipples if they run.
Yes, and men.
And men as well.
Runners' nipples as well, because everything's going up and down as you're running, and it makes your nipples all sore. So running and taking care of yourself is not always a healthy thing to do. I think that would be fair to say, don't you think?
Well, I mean, you won't get athlete's foot just from running, just from getting a sweaty foot. You've got to have come into contact with the fungus. So, I mean, I used to, in the end, when I went to swimming baths, I used to take some flip-flops with me.
And swim in them?
No, and I'd leave them at the side. I would never put my feet down anywhere on the changing room floor.
Would you walk on your hands?
Because I used to just pick it up very easily, and it's just annoying because it takes like 2 weeks of rubbing cream in every day to get rid of it. It's very annoying, and then you can reinfect yourself because it gets inside your shoes and things like that, and then on your towel you can pass it on to your partner. It's very annoying, and just annoying. It's not particularly painful. It's just very annoying. And some people, it's like verrucas.
Oh.
There's another one you pick up from changing room floors. Verrucas. Horrible sort of gross. I think that's a fungus as well. Or no, there could be a virus. I think that's a virus.
Yes. Anyway.
And it gets in, and that's a similar thing. They're disgusting changing room floors in public swimming baths.
It's amazing what you can pick up in a changing room. And also you can pick up some diseases as well. Very nice. So we have it coming up, Steve. It's coming up. Are you happy? Are you excited? It's coming up. It is definitely coming up.
You mean fill in the blanks?
On this special St. George's Day. St. George's Day, the patron saint of everyone called George. Here we go then. It's time to play the game that everyone loves. You know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about, Steve?
You just said, fill in the blanks.
It's time to play.
Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks. Dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks. Dun dun, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks.
Fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks, fill in the blanks. So fill in the blanks is happening right now. Where have we gone? Where are we? Come back, Mr. Duncan.
Carmen's here. Hello, Carmen.
Hello, Carmen. Oh, what's going on? Something very strange is happening here. Oh, that's better.
Did we get an alert?
No, nothing came through then. I think it was just my buttons were getting mixed up.
Yes, that's right, Saturino. You need to burn verrucas. I had one burnt off when I was a child. And there was so much... the doctor burnt it off with a hot iron, as you say. That's probably the best way to get rid of them. You can apply cream, but it's not very effective.
I had acid on mine when I was a kid. They put this corrosive acid and then they scrape it with a sharp scalpel. And sometimes they would cut into the actual flesh by accident, and then there would be blood everywhere.
They're supposed to. Some doctors say just leave them; they go away on their own. But the trouble is, they often don't, and they can take years, and then they spread, and you get more of them, and then you can pass them on to other people.
And your foot turns into a tree.
That's right, and yes. But I remember as a child having to have one burnt out by the doctor, which wasn't painful at all. Except I went playing football afterwards.
Okay.
And I thought that my inside of my sock feels all wet. And then when I took it off, it was soaked in blood from this. Anyway, that's just a little story.
I've never heard that story before.
Yeah, but you have, but other people haven't. So, right, go on, fill in the blanks.
Shall we play fill in the blanks? So enough of Mr. Steve's strange growths. He has enough of those already.
That's why I don't go to public swimming baths anymore, because you just pick up diseases.
Okay, well, enough about that, I think. Here we go then. It's time to play fill in the blanks. It is simple. It is a sentence. This is my something...
I'm tired, Mr. Duncan.
Are we keeping you up? This is my something if you want to something me. Steady, nothing rude, please. Fill in the blanks. This is my something if you want to something me. So it looks from this sentence as if we are offering something. We are offering something to another person. So that is...
Keep it clean. It's clean. The answer's clean, isn't it?
It always is. It always will be clean. It will be rude up here in my brain. It will be rude, but out here, it will be clean.
So make it grammatically correct. That's all we ask of you. Tomek's very quick off the mark. This is my phone number if you want to call me. Fantastic. All we need is your phone number, and then we'll be able to call you.
This is my umbrella if you want to borrow me.
Not quite grammatically correct there, I'm afraid. But if you said, this is my umbrella if you want to... Actually, nothing would fit there, would it? I know what you're trying to say.
You could start by saying, this is my new umbrella if you want to follow me. So maybe you are offering your umbrella to another person to walk underneath in the rain. This is my new umbrella if you want to follow me.
If you want to
walk with me.
If you want to borrow it, you could say, if you replace the me with it. This is my new umbrella. If you want to borrow it, would be grammatically correct, because you're saying that you want to borrow the umbrella. So you've got to say it. Me at the end is referring to you. It's not referring to the umbrella. So I hope that helps.
So this is my something if you want to something me. So I'm offering something. By the way, a lot of people do get confused between the two words lend and borrow. So lend is to give something for a short time. Borrow is receive something for a short time. You take something from another person, you keep it for a short time, and then later you will give it back to them. So those are the differences.
Francesca says, this is my home address if you want to contact me. Or this is my phone number if you want to contact me. Which was, Tomek said phone number, but this is my home address. If you want to visit me, you could say.
Yes, there are actually quite a few choices here. This is quite a good one, because there are lots of possible choices you can have here in this sentence.
I'm just reading out the grammatically correct ones. This is my home address if you want to meet me. Yeah, thanks, Christina.
Oh, Saturino. This is my professional fee if you want to hire me.
Ah, that's a good one.
That's a very good one.
Yes. So we can explain that. No, yeah, okay. This is my old car if you want to drive me. Yeah. If you want to, that if you want to drive me. Yeah. Or this is my new car if you want to drive me. Or, yeah. Not quite right, but not, you know.
It's very close.
If you want, this is my new house if you want to visit me.
So maybe you will give the details of your house. So there are certain details that you might give if you want someone to come to your house. So this is my what if you want to what.
Here's a good
me.
one from Intelligent. This is my Patreon account if you want to support me.
Oh,
Very good.
I used to have one of those, but then I realised that no one really wanted to donate.
Santorino, this is my email address if you want to date me
Oh,
or if you want to contact me.
yes. I think date is a little forward for someone you've just met. Hello there, would you like to date me? So maybe you just get in touch with another person. Maybe you want them to call you, so you just offer your number. So I think maybe if you want to meet me or see me, or maybe to contact me.
What's your suggestion then, Mr. Duncan?
Here is my suggestion, and the time is up for this question.
So there was a mixture there. I've read out all the ones that were grammatically correct. This is my...
Anyway, here is the answer. The answer is...
well, I think
Here.
somebody actually had that.
Here is my home address if you want to contact me.
Well, Francesca got that.
Yes, here is my home address.
Is
You can also say, here is my personal address if you want to visit me. So maybe you are offering some hospitality to someone, and maybe you give them your home address if you want to meet me, if you want to visit me, if you want to see me. This is my personal email if you want to contact me. So what I like about this sentence, Steve, is you can actually put many different
this is
words.
my phone number if you want to contact me, as Tomek suggested.
Yes.
Lots of different solutions to that one. Great. This is my first time. This is my first time if you want to help me, says Beatrice. Yeah. Could be your first time to anything, whatever you're starting new.
Something you've never tried before, but now you are trying it. So I thought that was quite a good one, because there were many different suggestions that we could.
And we had lots of them.
Yes, so well done. Here's another one. So this is our second fill in the blanks today. I will only be something for a something. Intrigued. I am very intrigued. I will only be something for a something. All you have to do is fill in the blanks.
With grammatically correct answers. So, yes, we look forward to your suggestions for that one.
Pretty good.
Oh, my legs are aching, Mr. Duncan. My legs are aching. By the way, I got the tea cakes out
Oh,
for us to have a tea cake with some butter.
I can't remember the last time we had a tea cake. Well done. So we will be having a cup of tea and a tea cake after this live stream has finished. By the way, can I just tell you something? There is a new video being posted on my YouTube channel during the week. I'm going to start putting content out again. It's been a very strange few days. You might say it's been a very strange few weeks in my life, to be honest. So things are slowly getting back to normal. So there will be a video lesson on during the week, and we are back next weekend, the final day of April, next Sunday.
We've got some suggestions already. Intelligent, I will only be available for a limited time. Yep. Well done.
I like it.
So you're only going to be available maybe to speak to on the phone or something like that. Tomek says, I will only be available for a night shift. Yeah, if you were trying to work out at work when you were going to be available, you might say to your boss, I will only be available for a night shift.
Yes.
So book me into that.
So maybe you are telling someone when you are able to do something, when you are available, when you are free. So if you are free or available, that means you are there, you are able to do something. Maybe another person asks you to do something. I will only be something for something.
Beatrice says, I will only be here for a short time.
Yes.
Well done, yes.
As will we all.
I will only be here for a couple of hours. You would have to have 3 letters there, but very close, Alessandra. I will only be kind.
You can also always put few.
Yeah.
So instead of a couple, you can say a few hours. I will only be here. I will only be available for a few hours.
Or I will only be unavailable for a short period.
Yes.
The opposite of that.
So again, a very good sentence because you can put many different words in here and still complete a sentence.
I will only be awake for a little while. Or I will only be asleep for a little while. Anarchy, thank you for that. I will only be working for a short while, says Bella. Yep, that fits as well.
I will only be free for a little time, says Francesca.
Yeah. I will only be up for a vegan meal.
Yes, actually, that, can I just say that is pretty good because if you are up for something, it means you are willing to do it. So I will only be up for a vegan meal. That means that particular meal will have to be vegetarian or vegan. No meat.
And is this true, Tomek? Are you a vegan? We find out something about you every day, or every week rather.
That should be very interesting in Paris because I think the French like eating meat, especially certain types of meat.
Sure, we will be able to get a vegan meal if indeed Tomek is vegan. I will only be rich for a money heirloom. Not quite right there. I will only be here for a short week. Yeah. Only at work for a short. I'll only be suitable. Yeah. Okay. Didn't think so, Tomek. You sound like a meat eater to me.
Yes, I think I get the feeling that Tomek likes his meat.
Likes his big steaks.
Yes.
I would say yes. Porterhouse. Anyway, I'm just joking. We like to joke around. What's your suggestion, Mr. Duncan? Are we doing another one?
We might be able to squeeze another one in.
Another quick one in.
Yes. Okay. So.
Maybe Tomek meant he's only going to date a vegan. I will only be up for a... No, forget that. Right, carry on. What was your suggestion, and did anybody guess it?
My suggestion, I will only be here for a short while. I will only be here for a short while. You might say that is actually true because I will only be here for a short while because we will be going in around about 4 minutes. So we might not have time for another sentence.
So Beatrice was the closest. But, I mean, you were all right. But in terms of a short time, Beatrice says, but while is the same thing. Same thing. So, lovely.
I will only be away. You might say, I will only be away for a few minutes.
Or brief time,
Yes.
says Christina.
I will only be away for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I will only be here for a couple or for a short time. So there are many, many, many choices you can have, to be
I will
honest.
only be remembered for a warm smile. Yes, I know what intelligent is doing then. Is yes, I will. Somebody, you might be pontificating about how people will remember you when you're gone.
Oh,
I will only be remembered for a short while.
yes. People soon forget.
Yes.
When you pass away from this mortal coil, you might be remembered for a while, but I suppose over time, those memories will fade away into the distance.
I'll be available for an attendance bonus. Not sure what that means, Tomek. All
Oh,
right.
maybe he wants a bonus if he comes or attends something.
In Paris, maybe.
No, I don't think it's necessarily connected to
Yeah,
Paris.
I know. Yeah.
But yes, it could be. It could be. Who knows? Anyway, Mr. Steve, you will be pleased to hear that it's time to go.
Oh, I've had enough today.
I think
I'm
so.
aching and I'm very tired.
Yes.
So I'm going to put the kettle on and do some tea cakes and then fall asleep in front of the television.
That sounds like a good plan.
Lovely to be here, to see you all. Are we going together or am I going to go off?
No, we will go together.
Right.
I will be back next Sunday. Mr. Steve will be here next Sunday.
RD, hi. I hope you've enjoyed it today. And if you have, tell your friends and join us again next week at 2 p.m. UK time.
That's it. Next Sunday, 2 p.m.
Oh, I don't know what that was.
By the way, that's a tradition. A tradition we have at the end of every live stream.
Yes.
Every live stream, Mr. Steve has a little sneeze. It's a new tradition that we've just started. So there will be a new lesson during the week. See you next Sunday. If you want to get in touch about the meetup in Paris, if you are interested in joining us, we do have quite a few people involved now. I don't know how we're going to manage this.
Lovely messages people are putting here for thanking us for our live stream today. Take care. Bless you. Bye, everybody. Bye, dear teachers. Thank you very much.
Very kind of you.
Yes.
We are back next week. This is Mr. Duncan and
Mr. Steve.
saying thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the past 2 hours. I hope it's been lots of fun. See you next week. You can watch this again later on with captions as well. Keep in touch. If you want to email me, you can. If you want to leave a comment under this video, you can. Please like and also subscribe. And of course, until the next time we meet, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Ta-ta
Ta-ta for now.